unbelievable history in the making. 15,000 fans packed in here. First Union Center is just simply buzzed out. The rumor is backflip. Carrie Hart, TJ Lavin, manicuring a lip for a backflip. The most insane trick. Here he comes on his practice run down to the lip. This is a man possessed. He almost nailed this trick. He actually nailed it, but didn't ride it out, and I know he has to try it. It's just in his blood.
Is this it? Oh! Oh! Carrie Hart going for the backflip, and this is what freestyle motocrossers do. They train hard to do what they want, and Carrie Hart has been fixated with the backflip. He had the mind, it looked like, to throw his goggles off. He came off the line as he hit it. He kept his left hand on the bars, but it looks like his right hand, his throttle hand, blew off as he hit the takeoff. Maybe the line was a little too steep. Maybe there was too much rebound. Carrie Hart just free fell from 40 feet in the sky to his feet. Carrie, I'm sure he'll be just fine. Again, freestyle motocross, all about this ejecting from the motorcycle. Presence of mind to hold it all the way around. He's like a cat. He lands on his feet, and his dad, Tom Hart, did not like what he saw. It was the first to his boy. Carrie throwing his goggles off, moving around. That is such a good sign for Carrie Hart.
Clifford out of Tante, the Flying Hawaiian, is ready to stoke the crowd out here in Philly. X Games, Big Air, the rider from Riverside, California. He's looking down and he's saying, it's time for me to show you what I've got.
Well, Clifford out of Tante has to follow what he saw from Carrie Hart. Whoa! Getting both his hands off and throwing the catwalk. We saw it in Freestyle Moto X. He was second. He got the silver medal. What will it be tonight? Clifford letting go completely of the motorcycle, getting great extension with his hands out, and then running next to the motorcycle. Not one run, not two, but hey, like 3, 4, 5, and 6. Clifford out of Tante, he stuck that run. Very, very solid for Clifford.
Look at the look on Clifford out of Tante's face. He know he stomped that trick. He's sitting there thinking, okay, that's what I got. What do you got? Step it up. This is a big, huge contest for the Flying Hawaiian. 92.67. He's in first place.
Great run for Clifford, and he moves on. He's going to sit in the first place spot. Lots of riders still to come. This next kid, he is a young gun of freestyle motocross. 17 years old, his first ever X Games. He is poised. He has some huge tricks, Jerry.
I know that Nate Adams is one of the young bucks. He's an up-and-comer, but he has a lot of tricks, and I know he can nail them.
Oh!
Cameron,
Yes!
what was that?
It's called the tsunami. It's a new trick. No one else is doing it. A lot of people go for the kiss of death. This kid has new variations. He looks like he's made out of rubber bands. Super solid. Choosing the ramp set at 80 feet. He's looking back, doing a straight-up handstand behind his handlebars. I mean, that's what Big Air is all about. You come to the X Games, you save your bag of tricks. When you get up to the plate, you have to bust it out. At 17 years old, you think maybe he'd be a little nervous, but Nate Adams coming through with the goods.
I know Nate's here. He's rolling out of Glendale, Arizona with his dad, Tandy. Busting into second place. That tsunami, I don't know what the Philly fans think, but I think it was pretty sick.
Definitely sick. I'm stoked for Nate to put it together, and Mike Metzger sitting on the line now.
Loco Mike Metzger, this is his first X Games. Last 2 years, he's always been injured, rolling no visor, t-shirt, all the tats. This guy is just what freestyle is all about. They call him the Godfather. I want to see what Mike Metzger is bringing to the plate here tonight in Big Air.
Well, you never know with Metz. I've seen him at events. He'll finish his run and try to do some gigantic, crazy trick. But now it's up to Metz to try to top out of Tante, the young guy Hart, also choosing the 80-footer, a giant cliffhanger. But I gotta tell you, that's a conventional trick, so to speak, for freestyle motocross. If I was giving him execution on the cliffhanger, I'd give him probably a 9.5. Great extension, arms straight up. Heck, maybe he'd even get a 10. But this is Big Air. We've seen 2 brand new tricks already, and a crazy trick that just, I can't believe we saw. Metzger going a little more conventional. I don't think that's going to be enough for him, Jerry.
Mike Metzger knows that this is a big contest, and he's going to get 3 shots to show everybody. There he is, Loco, that's the name, Mike Metzger. Here's his score. He moves into 3rd place after his first jump. Cowboy Kenny Bartram. His best friend in the whole world is Travis Pastrana. They train together. They do a lot of crazy tricks.
A great one-handed C-grab Indian air, reach back and touch the foot. We saw something very similar from Bartram at Winter X Games, and it wasn't enough then. I don't think it'll be enough now, but a great grab with the Indian air, getting his hand behind his back. Looks a little bit like an executioner. There's this kid from San Clemente who's going to try to bust that out. That's his trick, but Kenny with the variation, looking good with the grab, getting back and touching. Bartram, will it be enough to move up on the leaderboard?
Factory KTM rider Cowboy Kenny Bartram in the house. He doesn't know, waiting for a score. What's it gonna be? Philly's waiting for him also. He just likes to have fun. If you like jumping motorcycles 40, 50 feet in the air, if you call that fun.
Guys like Kenny just charge it at all times. You never know what you're going to get from him. Could that be all that Kenny's going to lay down? He looks happy. Whoa, moving into third place, Jerry, with a 90.33. Solid run for Bartram.
Who's up next? Who wants to do a big jump? Let's bring up our buddy, Trevor Vines. Yamaha rider, factory rider, busting out with some Sobe colors. Vinesy, he has a lot of tricks. He's a very, very polished free rider.
He's been in the free ride game since the beginning, and whoa, going for the McMets too. Whoa, I think you deemed that a blind Jerry before because you tried to name that trick. He does a McMets, both feet over the handlebars, saran wrapping off, and then covering his eyes on the line. You can see he gets good out around the arm, takes him off at the same time, looks clean, hands off the handlebars, and then he covers his goggles, puts his hands over his eyes on the landing. Doesn't really hold it, but hey, it's all about a good time here at X Games, pushing it up, and this guy, he went for it, on board with him, getting the feet out around. You can see the sponsors, and whoa, you can't see his eyes anymore. Very solid run for Trevor Vines. The question is, will it be enough to step him? Whoa, yes, Trevor Vines would be great up there, great landing.
After the McMets to the blind Jerry, thank you, Trevor Vines, moves into first place. You gotta love it. I'm not gonna tell you that I suggested he did that. Look at the packed crowd still to ride. Tommy Clows, he is the man when it comes to step up. He has a gold medal. Mike Jones from Pennsylvania, and of course, what show is not complete without the Wonder Boy, the 199 Travis Pastrana.
The 2001 X Games is brought to you by Mountain Dew, reminding you that if you fall flat on your face, grab a straw. By Motorola, check out the smartest new wireless technology at Motorola.com. And by Adidas, Forever Sport.
This is the way it stacks up after a few insane moves here at Big Air. Trevor Vines is tied for first place with Clifford, the flying Hawaiian Adaptante, both busting 92.67s.
It's been a heck of a show so far in Big Air. Carrie Hart came right out of the gate and just ejected off his motorcycle on a backflip. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen on a dirt bike. Sure, Carrie's going to be fine, but our leader right now, Trevor from wherever Vines, the McMets, no-handed lander covering his eyes, the blind Jerry.
Next up, we have Jeff Cargola, a.k.a. the Ox from San Clemente. This is his first X Games appearance. I know his mom's in the house, defogging the goggles. Ox is rolling a plain white helmet. He's just a young buck, but he's ready to step up.
Ox has the skill, and whoa, not quite getting what he was looking for. Jeff Cargola has some thoughts. They call him the Ox because he's the biggest guy in freestyle motocross at 240 pounds. He's a lineman for his high school football team, or he was at least. Ox got off the ramp squirrely. Looks like he tried to save it by doing some kind of no-footer or Superman trick. Obviously, he's not going to be happy with that. Not a good run for Jeff Cargola. I'm sure the judges won't like it either.
Ox is chilling, waiting for the scores. We don't know what he's thinking, but I'm thinking he was going to go for something super big because this is the X Games, and when it's Big Air, you really, really have to pull out all the stops. I got my head next to my fender. This is what I do for work. This is the way it goes down. 16 competitors. They have 3 different ramps they can hit. It's the best of 3 jumps. You only get one, and it's a 100-point scale to the judges. All right, who's next? Dustin Miller, 5'5", 120 on a 250-pound Suzuki 250 motorcycle. I don't know whether he's riding it or not. This kid has skills. He's got some really good tricks. He's one of the new up-and-comers. I've seen him do some things. 9 o'clock knack.
He's definitely got the skill to take it up a notch. Double grab, no-handed lander. Dustin Miller stepping up. Will it be enough to challenge the big dogs? The crowd loves it. Well, if you're going to come to the X Games for your first time, you may as well go huge. A nice double grab, fully extended, getting his arms and legs straight with his body. Then he comes back to the landing. He never even checks the handlebars. That's what they call it. If you go back, touch, and then straighten him out, and then let go. He just let go. Kid flying off his motorcycle. What will the judges think? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, the crowd is going crazy here after a stunt like that from Dustin Miller, popping Trevor Vines out of the first place spot with a 93.67 after his first jump. Here's the story right now. Jake Windham. Jake Windham got a bronze in Freestyle MX. Jake Windham had his motorcycle stolen last night from the parking lot. Whose bike is he riding? Travis Pastrana's Suzuki 250. It's all about teamwork. It's not his suspension, it's not his handlebars, but he is not giving up. Jake Windham is riding big air anyhow.
This guy is a huge guy, a strong guy. He muscles the bike. I guess I wasn't lying when I said that, Jerry. That was the kiss of death. Doesn't get much better than that with that trick. I'm not really sure. You throw the bike straight up and down. You go up and over the top doing a handstand, throwing your feet straight up. Well, unless you're Jake Windham, then maybe you go a little past vertical. Jake, unbelievable. A great trick. You want to be straight up and down. He totally passed it. Solid run for Jake. Will he pass his buddy Miller?
Jake has a full-time job in Northern California as a correctional officer, but he likes to ride his bike and hang upside down 50 feet above the curb. What kind of score are we going to get for him? Waiting on the judges. Let's have a... Jake Windham, second place with a 93. He is totally stoked at X. Up on the perch mound right there, 2.5 stories above the floor here at the First Union Center is the man, Tommy the Tomcat Clows. Step up, gold medalist this year. Tommy has skills. Tommy's really small too. He also moves around the bike. He's very fluid. He's very smooth.
Like a gymnast riding the Moto XXX Honda. Huge double grab. He sticks it perfectly, but think back in your mind, you saw Dustin Miller get that good of execution on a double grab and then go to no-handed lander. It's going to take more than that from the Tomcat, who just missed medaling in freestyle motocross off the 80-footer. Very clean, bike straight, horizontal, great body positioning for Tommy. We're going to have to wait and see if the judges think it'll be enough. I'm here to tell you, I don't think so, but maybe Tomcat has something in his bag of tricks that he can step up just a little harder later in the competition.
Tomcat Clows from the San Diego area of Southern California, Red Bull rider extraordinaire. After his first jump, he is tied for 6th place with a 90.33. Let's all chant this together. The dark side. Metal Militia. Brian Deegan. For a guy who's always professing so much evil and gnarly activity, he has the biggest smile on the FMX tour. Cameron, Deegan, is it real or is it just an act?
It's an act and it's real. Riding that shift-back Honda, throwing up double grab. Oh, whoa! That's something I've never seen before in a competition. Deegan told me he had a new trick. He was going to call it the Militia Impossible. I think we may have just seen it. A double grab, throwing it out. You get the legs straight, you get them straight, and then you pull your arms off and put them back behind you. Deegan seemingly getting good extension, not great extension, then arms at his side, grabbing back onto the throttle and pinning it for the landing. Brian Deegan, what's he going to score? That is the question.
Always training at the Militia compound with the rest of the Militia heads. Larry Linkhogo, Colin Morrison, Brian Deegan, running the colors. Check out the smile. Does this guy like to ride motorcycles or what? Everybody was claiming new tricks. Everybody was claiming, but so far the only one I've seen is from Brian Deegan, who was tied for 5th after his first jump with a 91.67. Can Philadelphia get behind this boy? He's from Expert, Pennsylvania. Mad Mike Jones. Mad Mike, if anybody is going to do something insane, probably something stupid, it has to be the ultimate showman of all FMX, Mad Mike Jones.
Jonesy is a lunatic. That's all I have to say about this guy. At X Games Summer, a couple years back, Jonesy decided to jump with his helmet covered up with a helmet bag off of a ramp. Not smart if you ask me. Jones, kiss of death to no-handed lander. I started to say, he didn't get the trick he was looking for because he didn't get the extension I know he's capable of. But Jonesy backing it up, landing with no hands. He's our oldest competitor at 35, and well, looks like he's got some youth on his side when it comes to riding that big old dirt bike. He muscles it around, gets a kiss of death, not huge like we talked about, but good extension, solid for anybody else. Mike Jones likes to be straight up and down. The bike is sideways and crooked. He still takes his hands off the handlebars. He's not a smart person when it comes to riding dirt bikes. That, or he's just got more guts than anybody I know. What will the judges think?
Jonesy's riding with a 4th degree separation in the shoulder. He has a brace on underneath the shirt. He knows about pain, he knows about pressure, and he knows about big air. Waving to the crowd, 92.33 puts Mad Mike Jones into 5th place. Travis Pastrana, the phenom, the icon. Everyone loves Travis, and Travis loves them back. Always smiling, always riding. Professional motocrosser, supercrosser, and part-time FMXer. Listen to the crowd get behind the boy. He's going full FMX. Look, he's got the stickers all over his number plate instead of the 199.
Whoa, double neck Indian air. A solid trick for Pastrana. He's so lanky on the motorcycle. The crowd loves Pastrana. You just don't need to know anything else than that. Everybody loves Travis, as Jerry was saying. You get off the ramp, you throw your body sideways, you throw the bike completely out, and you just hang it as long as humanly possible. Travis Pastrana with a very, very solid jump. He looks good, gets off the bike well, and his leg gets totally straight on the extension. Kind of looked a little sketchy coming back on the landing, getting his leg over, but he does get back to the peg. Travis Pastrana is safely sitting, waiting for the judges' score.
Travis is always just chilling. His mom and dad are both here. They just want him to be safe because all this stuff we're seeing tonight is very, very dangerous. There's Robert Pastrana right now, just hanging out. Travis is a madman. He's just a kid. He's only 17 years old. He's still stoked. He's in 8th place. After his first jump, it's all good.
Solid run for Travis, but not solid enough. Guys like Miller, Windham, and Vines taking it up a whole nother notch. Dustin Miller is your leader with a 93.67 after the first jump. There's still 2 more to go. Guys like Deegan, Jones, and Pastrana down towards the bottom, but Trevor Vines and Clifford out of Dante tied in 3rd. This is going to be a dogfight to the very end. When we come back, we're going to have more action from freestyle motocross. Carrie Hart, a complete madman. What else can we expect here? I can't tell you if anybody else is going to try anything that crazy, but right now, it's Dustin Miller setting on top, the double ground, the no-handed lander, and the phenom with the golden FMX. He's going to have to work just a little bit harder if he wants some medal here in freestyle motocross big air.